Let's go, slide. Here we go.
Kirk Ferentz climbing the all-time wins list at Iowa. Only the legendary Hayden Fry ahead of him. Just 4 wins away from 100. He's led Iowa to 6 January Bowls in the last 10 seasons. Had just 5 in program history before he arrived here. The head coach of the Hawkeyes, Kirk Ferentz, is with us. Kirk, we talked about this a bit in Chicago. You're now the dean of Big Ten coaches, 14th season here at Iowa. But a season of transition for you, 2 new coordinators. So now you're in camp. What has that transition been like, particularly on the offensive side with someone who you hadn't worked with before?
Oh, yeah, we've been so fortunate to have consistency with our coordinators for 13 years. I'm really appreciative of that. But, with the change, it gave us an opportunity to go out and, bring some new people in. Really excited about the way things have gone. And Greg Davis is just first and foremost a true professional. He's got great expertise, really knows how to work well with everybody. And it's been a great fit, so it's been fun. He got here in February. It's been fun ever since. And thought spring ball went well, and this has been a continuation of that.
Coach, you talked about taking things apart during the offseason to make things better. How and what do you do when you take things apart?
It almost had to happen with 3 new staff members. We had a lot of ground to cover, and with 3 new guys came 3 new sets of ideas, which was great. And we've pretty much looked at everything we've done, recruiting, football, offense, defense, special teams, just everything that involves a program. And it's kind of been invigorating, I think, for all of us. A good exercise. And most importantly, I think we've been able to implement some things that came up in discussion. And, now we're having a chance to see them in play. So it's been really enjoyable.
What are some of the things that you're working on that you'd like to see out of offense, defense, and special teams coming into camp? Since you're right now in the middle of it, where do you want to be?
Yeah, this ironically, I'm the dean, and this is probably our youngest team ever. So it's kind of been fun to watch because young teams tend to develop and they have a lot of change. It's a pretty dynamic process. We saw that in the spring, and this is a continuation. We're certainly not the same team we were in April. So. Right now we're just trying to identify, who the best guys are at the different spots, how they can handle what we're throwing at them mentally, also physically, and then, how do they handle the length of the camp, that type of thing. So, the picture usually becomes a little bit more clear as you go along. But I like the attitude overall, and then obviously we have some positions right now we're very curious, the defensive line, running back, and the punter position, just to name 3.
When you have a young team like this, are there things that you do different in this camp as opposed to if it was a veteran team?
Not necessarily. I think maybe a little bit more work in terms of volume, but the other thing is just giving everybody an opportunity and going in with a fresh mind because I think, again, we're a very different-looking team than I think that we were in April. And I expect us probably to be a little bit different here in 2 weeks. So, anxious to see how that unfolds, and a lot of it you just have to do the hard work, the heavy lifting. And, I think with this team especially, it's probably safe to say we'll be looking different with each week of September, too. So we just got to keep an open mind.
You talked about a couple positions that are question marks, defensive line and running back. I know a lot of fans are interested. Who has stood out to you so far at each of those spots?
Well, probably the best story on our team in spring ball was Louis Trinca-Pizzat on the defensive line. He was a guy that really nobody, paid much attention to. He really hadn't done much of distinction last year. And, this spring he just really did a nice job. And he's a redshirt freshman player. So, we think he's got a chance to really develop into a good player, had a good spring. Then beyond that, some younger guys. Darian Cooper's a kid we redshirted last year. He's done a nice job. So, I think that group made some strides forward. Certainly now we get Carl Davis back and Dom Alvis. They're both out there in the spring but couldn't get involved with contact because of rehab situations. To get them back working, I think that's coming along. The running back equation is a lot simpler. We don't have a lot of bodies back there right now, so basically anybody that's healthy is going to get a chance to work. And obviously Damon Bullock got the most work last spring. We have 2 freshmen here right now, Greg Garman and Barkley Hill, two guys that are getting a lot of work. So those 3 guys are getting the most work at the running back position. We've got a lot of work ahead of us there, certainly. But, we've won our last 2 bowl games, the Insight Bowl 2 years ago and the Orange Bowl the year before that with freshman running backs that were MVPs in the game. So it's possible to get these guys ready.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Kirk Ferentz. Thanks as always, Coach.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Hard.